next week. And things are not quite in order the way I thought they would be. I had it in my head all broken out and divided and grouped, and everything was just so organized and wonderful. And things started to happen. And so it's not organized, it's not grouped, it's not logical. Things are just gonna go. I call this potpourri, and this is what it is. Billy Hooper has a couple of things he wants to tell us, but Billy is really big, and he's big in Zellers, he's big in so many projects here, and he's also our #1 bell ringer. So I'm going to turn the program over to Billy and let him do what he wants to do. Tell us. You want to do the special first? Yes.
Thank you, Camilla. Before I say anything about bells, I have a special presentation to make. We said this last week that we would need this time today. As I begin, I would like to ask our past president, Gail Beck, to join Taka at the front, because she will be a part of making this presentation at the end. Last week, you will remember that we reported on the donations that you had made and our club funds that we had raised for the Eliminate project. And last week we were able to recognize Lynn Heiser, Camilla Lawson, Taka Ogata, Tom Ruzicka, and Jerry Schmier, and honor them as Zeller recipients. That raised the number of Zeller recipients in our club to 11, over 10% of our club, and we could have recognized, as I said last week, many more if we had had more funds available. Last week then, we ended our meeting with Rodney Vandeveer and Roy Johnson making comments. Rodney Vandeveer reminded us of our scholarship to high school student and the reasons we give that, both for the need of the student and for the service that that student commits to our community and serving other people. Roy Johnson then ended it with comments relative to the Eliminate project, the centennial anniversary of International this year, our centennial next year, and the concept of celebration. So we would like to continue at this moment those themes of eliminating tetanus, of celebrating our centennial, and recognizing outstanding members of this particular club. In January of this year, you received this Kiwanis magazine, which is the centennial celebratory issue. In the back of it, on the inside back cover, there was the announcement of a centennial award as our gift to the world. And that centennial award would be given to any club which raised and donated $1,500 to the Eliminate project. In the process of that, the club would earn the right to present a centennial award to someone who has, quote, done extraordinary things and, quote, whose commitment reflects the Kiwanis family mission. They continued to publicize that each month in each issue you received. And with the opportunity then to present an individual centennial award, your board of directors, your Eliminate committee, and the previous Zeller recipients focused attention on selection of a member who has distinguished themselves in changing children's lives in the spirit of Kiwanis and our commitment to serving the children of the world by changing the world one child and one community at a time. This group of people started that selection process with a very clear understanding that every member of the club, every one of you sitting here, was eligible and met the basic criteria. Every one of you is here because of your commitment to serving the children of the world. But only one award could be given. And a selection process was needed then to select the one member who best personified the Kiwanis spirit and service. No one used this concept now directly, but all of these people were looking for what is called an idea person and a follow-through person. And that is someone who takes a relatively small idea at the beginning, magnifies the effect by the way they use it, and then follow through to make it a significant program or product. The person then initiates a process which expands across the environment and changes it in, excuse me, in many, many ways. So our search was on for an idea and a follow-through person who had generated many ideas, presented those ideas to others in their community, followed through to expand and magnify the impact of those ideas, work hard to achieve the success of the activity, and then come up with another idea and repeat that process over and over again for a very large part of their entire life. In receiving the multiple nominations from all of you, from the members of this club, it was very clear to us that we have many persons who would be eligible for such a nomination. However, one person in our club was consistently identified most often and supported most enthusiastically. That member of our club will now receive the Lafayette Kiwanis Club's Centennial Award, and the individual is Sam Potpourri. I would ask Sam to just stand here with Gail while I make a number of, please have a seat. I'd like to make a number of comments about Sam, so those newer members here who don't know him well have an understanding of why he was selected. Born in Allister Ridge, West Virginia in 1918, Sam grew up and began his education in a one-room school. At that time, 1918, just completing the 8th grade was in this nation the end goal of education for the majority of our youth. But Sam did not join that group. At 12 years of age, without a driver's license, Sam began driving his family's pickup to and from high school every day for 4 years. In the process, he picked up other young people along the way, and in that way gave them an opportunity for a high school education when they would otherwise have been denied such an opportunity. And many children, of course, in West Virginia benefited from that. Sam then started college when he was 16 years of age. And after finishing college, he taught country schools in West Virginia until the outbreak of World War II, when he joined the Navy and became a naval communications officer working on submarines. After the war, Sam completed his higher education and came to Purdue here in 1969, where he served for 35 years before retiring in 1984. Very early in Sam's career, he generated and developed an idea which continues to send ripples throughout the world of higher education. Back in 1961, he called it audio tutorial education. But it evolved and it spread through higher education for 25 years under Sam's leadership. For it, he received the Helping Students Learn Award from the Purdue Alumni Association in 1983. He was one of the very first faculty at Purdue to be honored on their Book of Great Teachers in the late 1990s.
Amen.
Sam was the principal founder of the International Society for Teaching and Learning. And in 2010, that society presented him with a Founders Award. And they gave it to him, quote, for his vision, innovation, and leadership in the scholarship of teaching and learning. Sam has been called in education circles the grandfather of technological instruction. And in summarizing his own goals in a Purdue history, Sam was quoted as saying, "Helping students learn has been the basic thrust of my entire career." The instructional methodology that Sam started has many names today. It's called student-centered learning. It's called classroom without walls. It's called problem-based education, and it has many other names. And especially, it has very high visibility here at Purdue University in the establishment of the Purdue Polytechnic Institute to replace the College of Technology. On the webpage of that institute, they say, we are undergoing a major transformation that affects all facets of the college. The scope of the transformation is so profound that a name change is warranted. The Purdue Polytechnic Institute is designed to produce graduates who not only have deep knowledge, applied skills, and experiences in their chosen discipline, but also problem-solving, critical thinking, communication, and leadership skills. Just last Friday afternoon, I listened to Professor Jeffrey Evans, who is Director of Learning Innovation at Purdue, describe those concepts of the Institute, the Polytechnic Institute, and the concepts he presented were fundamentally the educational innovation by Sam Postlewaite at Purdue from 1961 forward. Professor Evans said at that time that Polytechnic Institutes were formed in Europe in 1795 to prepare students for the Industrial Revolution. And then he said Purdue Polytechnic Institute was formed in 2014 to prepare students for the technological revolution. And who did we just say is the grandfather of technological instruction? None other than Sam Postlewaite. The ripple effects of Sam's creativity and his long efforts have indeed been profound and exponential throughout higher education. Then 31 years ago, at his retirement, Sam turned his attention from the privileged upper-income students at the university to the youth of our community, especially those who are underprivileged or economically deprived. He joined Kiwanis and jumped into its efforts to change the world one child and one community at a time. He almost immediately became a member of the Youth Services Committee, and then he chaired that committee for over 30 years. In her 40-year history of the Lafayette Kiwanis Club, published at our 90th anniversary, Mary Alice Nebo wrote 4 pages describing the services of the Youth Service Committee. And in that, she gave great credit to Sam Postlewaite as the person at the helm of that committee. Mary Alice listed Terrific Kids, the Bug Program, Diaper a Kid Day, the Above and Beyond Award, and the Help Award as programs which were initiated by Youth Service Committee under Sam's leadership. It has been the club's largest committee, and more than 1/3 of all of our members have been privileged to work on it with Sam through the years. They remember that he was constantly coming up with new ideas, constantly challenging us to do more for the youth of our community, and equally important, he was constantly working with others in the club to raise money for all of those youth service activities. Now, in the last couple of years, Sam has given up some of the highly visible leadership roles, but he works equally well and equally hard behind the scenes, supporting the Eliminate Project and the Two Parks Project. He has worked with the Eliminate Committee to fund or support our major fundraising activities, which are these cards that so many of you have purchased for $15 each. Sam took all of these photographs and he selected them with the help of the committee leadership, and they have been a very successful project. On the back of every card, it says, a project of Lafayette, Kiwanis. Then, in terms of the Parks Project, Sam has been a strong supporter of that, and at the dedication of the Columbian Park Zoocation Station last week, Sam was there photographing those activities. Every one of us there experienced an overwhelming pride as we watched the dedication, experienced the enthusiasm of the children who showed up, and watched Sam beam with joy as he photographed all of it. It would be very difficult for any of us to capture in any summary the contributions that Sam has made on behalf of young people throughout his life. And it is difficult to capture in a few words here the contributions he has made to this club and our Kiwanis activities. But it became quite easy to describe Sam in the final analysis when one of our members simply said, if you want to describe Sam, just look at the objectives of Kiwanis. He is the personification of our objectives, and there are three that best describe him and his contributions. These three objectives are to give primacy to the human and spiritual rather than the material values of life. Secondly, to encourage the daily living of the golden rule in all human relationships. And third, to provide enduring friendship, to render altruistic service, and to build better communities. Kiwanis Foundation has recognized 9 of you, current members, with its Tablet of Honor Award, and Sam is one of those Tablet of Honor Award recipients. Our own club has recognized Sam by naming its award for scholarship the Postal Weight Scholarship. So today it is with very great pride that all of you, the entire Kiwanis Club, presents to Sam Postaway the Centennial Award, honoring him as a humanitarian with a dedicated commitment to serve young people and as a role model for all of our Kiwanis members. Our president, past president, Gail Beck, will now present Sam Postaway with the highest honor that we can bestow in this centennial year. The Centennial Award recognizes Sam Postaway's gift to the world.
Sam, you need to be glad that he didn't make you read that.
Point of order. You started teaching long before 1961, because I had him in 57.
There's a segment of life where you've done whatever you were going to do in this world, and then you have this life, this living. I can't imagine. Bill Ferris had me become a Kiwanian, and I had no idea that you people could fill that time with such just such a good life. And it's been so good. Kiwanis has been just so special to me. And if all of my life, if I hadn't had this segment with you people here, it would have been such a worthless segment of my life here. And thank you. Bless your hearts. You're so good, and you've been so good to me. And I haven't helped Kiwanis. Kiwanis helped me here. Thank you so much.
And now Camilla says 60 seconds for ringing the bells. On the first Saturday in December, you will have the opportunity to ring bells at 9 different locations in Lafayette and West Lafayette in 4 different shifts of 2 hours each. And calling attention to this, I want to call attention to this program. Almost all of you who are older members of the club remember seeing this year after year. This is the very last schedule prepared by who ran?
Wayne Bird.
Wayne Bird. I'm so
Big Bird.
Big Bird. Wayne Bird prepared this kind of sheet for 30 years for this club and filled it out. This year, which was 2005, was also the first year that Circle K joined us in ringing bells, and Wayne Bird was partly responsible for that. So I really want to recognize 40, 50 years of bell ringing, Wayne Bird especially, and you'll have the opportunity at our first meeting on Thursday to begin to sign up on a sheet that looks like this for ringing bells this year. $5,000 a year is what we raise as an average from that.
Well, yes, Gail.
I just wanted to make an announcement because Jan had reminded me, but we have a new junior Kiwanian as of 9/28, Mark Andrew Griffin, 7 pounds, 7 ounces, 21.5.
Ooh, congratulations. That's I do have a short story about Sam. Years and years and years ago, when I started out and trying to do things about distance education, he told me a story about one time he was out on the road and he was running late for class, and so he pulled in, I think it was a Stuckey's, got Purdue Stewart Center. They set up a telephone in the room, and he taught the class by telephone. So I've never forgotten that. And if you hear it, you'll hear it over and over and over. Sam just says, just love them. So, thank you, Sam. I'm trying to get the people who won't be here next week, as I said. And so I hope everybody is prepared. Ed Niles didn't show up, and I talked to him this week. I had this cute little skit already, and now he's not here. And so
Hohenstein Award, you remember that this was established 15 years ago to honor Marshall Hohenstein, who was a member of this club, was our song leader for many, many years, the instrumental music director at Westside High School. And for those of you that might be interested in seeing who this Marshall Hohenstein was, I have here the West Lafayette High School yearbook, the Trident, for 50 years ago, when Howie retired. And I'll pass this around and you can see this gentleman on the right-hand page that we are honoring. This award is funded by the foundation. It is an award of $500 to the outstanding senior musician at West Lafayette High School. And at 15 years, we have now had the foundation donate $7,500 for this particular event. They also pay for the plaque and the permanent plaque that the student received, and we are deeply appreciative of the foundation for their efforts in this. The other committee that I work with, as Camilla mentioned, is our social committee. We all enjoy the social aspects of our meetings here. We try to expand that social environment to include our spouses and family members, and we do that with getting the Valentine candy every year for our Valentine meeting. Our trips, of course, we leave for Branson Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock, and we have a good group going. And the following trip will be, so you can begin planning, as we mentioned some time ago, the new production of Phantom of the Opera, which will be in Indianapolis, and we will be going down there on Sunday, May 15th. This trip will be limited to 32 persons, which was all I could afford out of my bank account to pay for deposits on tickets and whatnot. So mark your calendars. The other thing is our annual picnic that we have. This year we had 18 Kiwanians plus spouses participate in that. We would like to get more Kiwanians to participate in this because it's always a fun afternoon to get to know other Kiwanians outside of our Thursday meeting where we all sit at the tables and only talk to the people across the way from us. We would like to see if we can get 40 Kiwanians next year. And one of the questions that came up, would there be interest in having us investigate the possibility of moving from Happy Hollow Park to Columbian Park? Would that be more convenient for folks? They have a lot of fine facilities over there. So if you have a feeling one way or the other, let me know. And we do have to reserve shelters way in advance. So keep us posted and keep this in mind. That's all I have right now. I do want the yearbook back when that's part of Sarah's celebration for her 50th.
Okay. I'm just going to make a short little talk. We have put Mary Alice off because of various things, and now she's not here today to tell us about Diaper a Kid Day. She knows the history of Diaper a Kid, how many diapers we have purchased, and if you put them end to end, where you could go. I'm not sure if it's to Florida or the moon or what, but she knows, and how many wipes. And it's just a great service that we do for the YW. So she'll be telling you all about that when it gets closer to Diaper a Kid. And she's going on the trip, that's why I'm mentioning her. John, would you like to tell us about Wiley and Earhart Food Service? John took this over being a new member for, what, 2 months? Something like that. He jumped right in, and so we're letting him tell you early so you can start to plan for next year.
Thank you, Camilla. And thank you, Sam, for setting me on the right course as a student. The dining services project ran from the 24th of June, August, until, it should have started in June, but ran from the 24th of August until the 4th of September. 19 Kiwanians participated in that, along with 4 friends and spouses. A total of 150 hours were given, and if they ever send us the money, we're hoping to get about $1,100 from that project.
Thank you. And they have moved the shifts from 4 hours to 2 hours now, and you can eat there. That means you don't have to scramble your own eggs if you go for breakfast or fry your own fish if you go for lunch, and it's really great. And Wes sometimes, how many? I think he's had 3 or 4 shifts straight in a row at times, and I don't know how he does it, but it is a good time, and you can have fun, and you feel, you know, the students come in and you get to talk to the students and make them feel welcome, because some of them are here for the very first time as freshmen. We're not supposed to say freshmen anymore. First year students, and they're away from home, and it's kind of nice if you just talk to them and let them know that there's someone here on campus that cares about them. Now, I got through, I think, is anyone else going to Branson that I haven't called on? Good.
Camilla,
Yes.
you need to say something about football.
Yes. Now we're going to say something about football. Just something.
As Roy mentioned earlier, the committee met on Tuesday. We're in the final stages of planning the 95th year of the Lafayette Kiwanis Club sponsoring the Purdue football banquet. It's going to be this year on December the 13th on Sunday, and we are ready to start selling tickets at $31 each. So if anybody's interested, let us know. The committee works very closely with the Purdue Athletic Department, and Tracy Dodds is my co-chair now, and she's working very closely with Diana Bolden in the office over there. We've got the meal selected already. Roy worked with Diana and the coaches, and we're going to have it's a stuffed pork chop. Is that right, Roy? And all the fixings. So the team is struggling this year, so we need as much support as we possibly can get from Kiwanians to attend the banquet. All right?
How do we get to have a player at our table?
Every table will have 2 players at the tables.
What time?
It's going to be at 12:45 on Sunday, December 13th. The doors will open at 12:15.
Thank you. Okay. Gail, you want to say something about all of us nuts?
Indeed. But I can talk loud because I'm here and I can talk loud. So we had a long tradition before I was a member of the club of doing Peanut Day, and we raised better funds on that. And a lot of you were involved with it. It was downtown, and part of the pancake breakfast, I think, that also took place near the farmer's market downtown. We got bumped because we were too tough. We were kind of aggressive, so we got bumped from that location. And Noble, who had spearheaded this, took us over to West Lafayette Farmers Market, and there we go only once during the summer, and so and we're not able to cruise around and gather money, so we use it now more as a presence, just to show people or introduce people to who we are as Kiwanis. So we've done a very good job with that. This year it was so hot, I don't think we did much more than say like, hey, hi. But normally we were able to talk a bit about it, and so it's a way for us to do outreach, and you folks here also support us with as being phantom sponsors or sponsors of the Phantom Peanut boxes that we order, and we do it's a good outreach, and we appreciate it. But Noble and Janet usually take the first shift every year and set us off on a right foot and talking about all that we do, and so we appreciate the folks that started this up, even though we've modified it somewhat. And it's fun. If you're considering coming, really you can work a shift for just an hour and talk a little bit about Kiwanis to people that come above.
Thank you. Thank you. Jack, you want to Billy's told you about ringing the bells, and he will be sending that chart around as we get closer and closer to that. But then Jack has an important part in our Christmas event too.
Along with ringing of the bells, our Support of Salvation Army involves an auction, which will be held on December the 10th this year. One of my first experiences when John Sent brought me in was he told me about the auction, but no one can prepare you for that. People bring strange things and take them home after paying. You know, Sam's pictures are worth a couple $100. But a size 15 tennis shoe is never worth $50. And once in a while, people give $90 or $100 for a plastic bag of homemade candy. So be prepared. On December the 10th, we're importing an exceptional auctioneer. Surprise. December the 10th, bring your gifts and bring your checkbooks. You make the checks out to Salvation Army. They are tax deductible. Lynn just told me that we raised around $6,000 in a matter of an hour. The story I love about John Semp was one of the first times we went through this, I bought this box and it came with some kind of a doll in it. We were walking out together and I says, John, I gave $50 for this. He got real quiet and he said, I brought that. it still sits in our home. December the 10th.
Yes.
Last year I bought a box that was cube, this big. Inside was one size 18 tennis shoe.
Would somebody bring the other one so he can have a pair?
I've already given another one.
It's been there for about 40 years.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this auction the first time, my first year, and I didn't realize what all you get. And when someone took off his coat and they auctioned it off, I was going, oh my goodness. So anyway, it is a good time. The last person that I want to let have a minute is me. 2 years ago, the board approved the support of a community key club. We started the process. We have a place to meet. We have a community advisor. We thought we had a Kiwanis advisor. Unfortunately, for us, lucky for her, she got another job and she's out of town a lot, and our other Kiwanis advisor got elected to a judgeship, so she's very busy. If we can get some people who will want to step into that position, we can start getting things organized so that we can have a community key club. Going into a high school has been kind of difficult because the advisors don't want to do that without extra pay, so we thought the community key club was the way to go. So think about that. We thought, people could be advisors just to come in maybe once a month or once every 2 months or so, but the one that organizes it would have to meet with them whenever they meet. So think about that and see if you don't want to be involved. I know Wes has already said he'd be willing to help out some, but look at the talent in this club that you could bring to the kids in this community if you just came out once every 2 months for an hour and helped them. So that's our spiel for youth services right now. Thank you, Tucker.